Maine's Internet for All state grant program is moving forward. Federal and state officials held a press conference this afternoon announcing the approval of Maine's initial proposal for the Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment, or BEAD program. BEAD is a part of the Biden-Harris administration's Internet for All initiative that received funding through the 2021 bipartisan infrastructure law. Maine can now request access to over $271 million in funding to begin implementing the program, which is an effort to provide everyone in the state with affordable and reliable internet service. Maine now has a year to submit a final proposal that must lay out how the state will ensure universal coverage.
I really want to congratulate the state on submitting such a sophisticated and high-quality plan, one that shows how they will make high-speed internet service available to everyone in every community across Maine. It is a major milestone for the state to achieve in the BEAD program. It means we're this much closer to getting shovels in the ground, creating good new jobs, and getting our communities connected.
In a statement, Governor Mills said in part, with this approval, Maine can now put historic federal funds to use to bring the internet to more people in Maine, unlocking new opportunities in commerce, education, telemedicine, and more. She continued, my administration and the Maine Connectivity Authority will continue our aggressive work to make an internet connection available to every person in Maine who wants one.